credit to Liverpool. You know, Man United did dominate the ball in terms of possession. Liverpool only had 33% in the first half, but they were the ones who were able to make the most of their opportunities. They defended well, they stayed compact, they were disciplined, they managed the game in the right moments, and they had a spark of quality. You know, the likes of Olivia Smith, who we talked about prior to the start of the game and how impactful she is, they were just excellent as a collective.
Yes, spark of quality is exactly what we saw from Olivia Smith tonight. She is going to join us very shortly, but let's just take a quick look at what it does mean for the Barclays Women's Super League table. Manchester United with a huge opportunity tonight to cut that gap, or go above Arsenal, I should say, but they have failed to do that because Liverpool have beaten them by 3-1. Liverpool in 5th, above Brighton, now 2 points above Brighton. What a turnaround for them under Amber Whiteley. And Anita was talking about the touch of quality, the spark. We are joined by Olivia Smith, double goal scorer tonight, scoring at Anfield. Once again, you like it here, don't you?
Oh, I love it. And to have my family here, it makes it 10 times better.
I'm just going to ask you to speak mic because it's so loud in here. The fans are enjoying it so much. So your family were here for that as well. Let's reflect on the goals that you did score, because that first one, that was special, wasn't it?
It was special. I think I brought out my individual quality there, but also the connection that I have with Fuka in our midfield kind of goes to show where that goal came from.
I was also told that your family quite enjoyed that goal. There was some quite special scenes, I think, up there. Tell us who was there watching.
I had my best friend from home, my mom, my sister, my dad, and some family friends as well.
How crucial was that period at the end of the first half? Because you had to soak up so much Manchester United pressure. You know the form that they came into this game in, but it felt like once your goal came, that bit of quality then unlocked the confidence in the team.
Yeah, I definitely think there was a bit of a relief, and then that's where we built confidence and momentum going into the second half as well.
Got 3 consecutive wins now. What has been the difference? What's the feeling in the team?
I think we just needed, again, like a reset, and now we're in a new formation, and it allows us to bring our different qualities. But yeah, we all feel good. The competition and training is really good.
And talk me through your finish as well.
I've got to interrupt you. Come on, talk us through this. It's probably the first time you've seen it back, right?
It is. Oh, wow.
The fact that you're even speechless.
What's going on in your mind in that moment?
Honestly, I just saw that I was 1v1. And I just took my opportunity. We went through what their goalies like and what our tendencies are. So to go far post was the best decision for me. So, yeah.
Is there something special, Anfield under the lights? Obviously playing for Liverpool is special anyway, but to be here tonight, was there something special there?
Definitely, and under the lights is like my favorite thing ever. So to be in Anfield under the lights with my family and my teammates was amazing.
And it wasn't just that goal you got as well, scoring from the spot. Liverpool did have a couple of penalty shouts before that as well, but talk us through what's going through your mind when you see that penalty given and you know you're going to take it. What goes through your mind at that point?
I just know I'm going to score.
Is that how confident you are? You've looked at me.
I love that mentality. I love it.
That is brilliant.
Do you know exactly where you're placing it straight away? Let's take a look at it again, and you can talk us through what's going through your mind. What are you thinking here? Is it literally, do you know exactly where you're going before you've even...
Well, before the match, I already have it set in my mind. Once we have a pen, I already know where I'm going.
How often do you practice them?
Well, after sessions sometimes. Just really depends when we have time and when our physical stuff allows us with the load and everything. So
let's look at the season overall then, because it's 6 goals for you now in your first season in the WSL. It looks like you are loving being here at Liverpool, being in England in the WSL.
Yeah, it definitely feels like home now. Just starting to get comfortable, build my confidence, and especially in this new formation, I get to bring out my qualities, like I said. So
I was going to ask you, how's that benefited you?
Honestly, it's been fun. It's been fun. Going against top opponents is just really good for me to improve as well, and I can look back on these games and see what I can do better for the next match.
You really look like you enjoy both sides of the game. I saw you do some incredible tackles as well.
Thank you.
Is that something that you really work on as well in terms of your pressing and just recovering?
Yeah, I definitely want to be good on both ends of the ball. So that's definitely something I've been working on in training, and I think it's something that honestly I've probably struggled with a lot of my career, but now coming here I think it's definitely something that I can kind of add to my strong point as well.
I could chat to you all evening. I found it absolutely fascinating, but look over there, your manager's waiting to join us. You don't want to keep your manager waiting, do you? There we go. Right. So if on your way out you could pass the microphone, thank you so much for coming, and congratulations, well played tonight. What a performance there from Olivia Smith. And right on cue, there we go, fascinating to hear from Olivia there. We'll talk about your incredible record so far as Liverpool manager, but just a word on what a talent you've got on your hands with Olivia Smith.
I think she's phenomenal. She gives us so much on the ball, but the work rate off the ball is just as good. It's so important. Obviously, we've changed to 4 at the back. It's so important that you've got your midfield in front and working hard to protect your back line, and she puts in an incredible shift. She was brilliant.
You'll be pleased to know that the 2 ex-pros here, Anita actually just highlighted that with her. I was talking about the quality and all of those things that we see as fans, and Anita said it looks like you enjoyed both sides of the game. It's literally what you said to her, and she agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm really curious to know from you, like, what messages have you instilled in the team, especially today during this game, to get them out to put in that kind of performance defensively, but also to have the confidence to go forward and attack in the right moments.
Yeah, I think when you play against top teams, well, any team, you've got to be defensively organised, and that's something that we've tried to instill over the last couple of weeks. We've worked really hard there. We try to protect the central areas of the pitch, and then when it goes wide, that's when we can be aggressive and try and lock them off. So I think we've done that well. I thought we did it well tonight. We did it well against Arsenal on Sunday. And when you defend well, it gives you opportunities to transition and, be dangerous on the attack.
And how impressed are you with the way those players that adapted to this game, knowing that you had 3 players that missed today's match with illness?
Yeah, and I think it just shows the quality and the depth that we've got in the squad. The team's been unchanged. Well, the team would have been unchanged tonight, coming off the back of 2 wins, 2 good performances, 2 clean sheets. Illness obviously hit overnight, and it gave opportunity to the players to come into the team, and I thought they did a fantastic job. They took their opportunity so well.
What a week it's been for you. What a few weeks it's been for you. But let's look at this week. You've just beaten Manchester United that only conceded 6 goals all season. You put 3 past them. You also knocked Arsenal out of the cup on Sunday. And you're looking at me as if to say, yeah, it's just what you do, and it is what you've done since you've become manager. How have you instilled such a big change so quickly?
Hard work, good preparation, no secret really. We give the players absolutely everything that they need to go and perform against any opponent, and then when they cross the white line, it's up to them then. But every time they've done that, they've executed so well, and they've put absolutely everything in again tonight. So full credit to the team.
You obviously know these players really well. You've worked with them for a long period of time. Do you think you've changed the way you've been around them with the different pressure that you have as a manager as opposed to an assistant?
Well, I've had to step up. And obviously lead from the front. I was at the back of the room before in a completely different role, so I think just try to lead from the front, I think, and lead by example, and I hope they see me taking my opportunity, and the ones who've come into the team tonight, they've done that as well, so
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, absolutely love it, yeah.
That's so refreshing.
Yeah.
Sometimes managers say they don't have the opportunity to kind of enjoy it, because I know it's so relentless, on to the next, and particularly in this division with some of the teams that you are facing. But are you able to enjoy it and kind of take stock of what you're achieving?
Yeah, definitely. We've got brilliant people at the club, and that's not just the backroom staff, the players. It's absolutely everyone, from when you walk through the door at Melwood, from Alison on reception to Debbie and Lauren in the canteen. It's an absolute pleasure. I love Liverpool Football Club, and it's the people that make it.
What can you achieve between now and the end of the season? What are the ambitions for Liverpool?
We want to keep improving. That's the biggest thing. So, game by game, we want to keep getting better, and I think we've seen the progress already from the game at Palace, through Arsenal, and to this one tonight.
And of course, you've got an FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea to look forward to as well. You've beaten Arsenal, you've beaten Manchester United, just Chelsea now.
Yeah, but we've got Arsenal next week before that, so we'll enjoy this win tonight, and then we have to reset, refocus, and go again next week.
Thank you so much for coming out and joining us. Pleased to hear that you're enjoying it as well. It's refreshing. It's refreshing to hear. We've been seeing all the players go and enjoy it with their families. Hopefully, you can go and enjoy it now for a bit as well. Thank you so much for joining us. That's the thoughts of the Liverpool boss. Let's now hear how her opposing number, Marc Skinner, is feeling. He's been speaking with Betty Glover.
And Mark, I imagine that is a very tough one to take. What's your reaction?
Yeah, frustrated. I felt that we were in control of the game. I think 2 counter-attacks where we defend really poorly. I think the first goal clearly shouldn't be a goal. We should stop that. Second goal is one where we've got numbers up in the box and we don't defend effectively. So it's something I'm really disappointed in, but I'm sure the players will be too. And third goal, I'm not even sure it's a penalty. I've not seen it back yet, but it looked like the ball deviated from her path and she didn't touch it. So I might be found wrong. But actually, and then for me, it's just we huffed and puffed and it just wasn't us tonight, and we've got to address that and get back to it next week.
Yeah, this is very uncharacteristic of Manchester United. You, before this game, had only conceded 6 goals all season. What was different?
I mean, I've got to find that answer, haven't I? No, I feel like the goals we concede tonight are not good enough, like from our standard, and we can hold ourselves to that high standard. So we've got to assess why that is. I think dueling tonight, maybe we just didn't turn up the dial enough. Because they were very direct, which they're going to work off that. But we needed to be better in our physical duels, and I just don't think it was there tonight in enough format. Look at Mayer at the end, takes initiative, takes drive, and scores. And I think that's how it felt in the game. It didn't feel like Liverpool had anything really, but barring a counter attack, and they've hit us twice on it. So, uncharacteristic, but we'll assess it and work forward to the Villa game.
Just reflecting on what Marc Skinner said then, he said not good enough defensively. We spoke pre-match about how good they have been. He just said they just weren't on it tonight. The goals they conceded were poor. Do you agree?
Yeah, look, I think at both ends of the pitch they weren't good enough. They've been very, very hard to beat defensively. That's why they've kept so many clean sheets. They couldn't keep the clean sheets today. They let in sloppy goals, as he said. But at the other end of the pitch, they weren't ruthless enough. They weren't clinical. They had opportunities. They created chances. But you've got to put them in the back of the net when you're on top if you want to win games in the WSL.
And I think they played into Liverpool's hands too often. They got to wide areas, they're delivering crosses into the box, into big players, in Jenna Clark, Matthews, good in the air. They had to find alternative ways to try and break down that Liverpool defence, and they weren't effective at it today.
Is it a bit of a reality check, would you say, for them?
Potentially. They've been quietly going about their business. They've been producing good results, keeping clean sheets, scoring goals, being productive in the matches that they've played. It's difficult because you come into a game like this and it's easy to make a snapshot decision of Manchester United aren't good enough to be at the top there. Potentially, are they good enough now to win the league? Probably it's going to be a tough ask to beat Chelsea anyway, but they want to get to those Champions League positions, and they'll take a good look today and say, where could we improve? Where didn't we have enough? And how can we step up, especially with a big FA Cup semi-final coming up as well?
It does feel like a big missed opportunity for Manchester United, especially if we take a look at the WSL table. They've kicked off the weekend and look at it. I mean, they're still in third. They're level on points with Arsenal, but could have gone above them and could have cut that gap a little bit more, just to 5 points on Chelsea. It does feel like, as you said, Siobhan, it was always going to be a tall ask to catch them. But how much of a blow is this to their Champions League hopes, you think, with Manchester City, of course, potentially going to be rejuvenated?
Well, I think the challenge for them is they still know they got to face Arsenal, Chelsea and Manchester City. So that could be, a big difference in terms of the points and how they finish at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a difficult final 3 games. As Anita said, that's going to be what makes or breaks their season for me.
OK, well, a huge game here. Finished Liverpool 3, Manchester United 1, and there's another big game to come tomorrow. Make sure you join Alex and the guys 11:45 on BBC One, the League Cup final, Chelsea against Manchester City. Bye-bye.